Waiting,
Yeah.
Margaret.
So you are stereotyping
Devdi.
me.
No, but that's. Hi guys, this is Desimartini. We have with us Kalki Koechlin, who's awaiting her next release. Waiting. Speaking of waiting, the wait for her first national award just got over. Kalki, congratulations for the national award.
Thank you so much.
So what's it like being a national award winner? Do you hold this award as a special honor?
I think it is a big honor. I think it's probably the biggest honor you can get in our country for cinema, and yeah, it feels pretty good.
Okay. Kalki, talking about waiting, this film has already opened across a lot of film festivals to a very encouraging response. What do you think makes waiting so special?
I think it's just a very refreshing script because the subject is just very human. We all have loss. We all have had at some point in our life have to go through some kind of, either a death or a serious illness in the family or something. And so we can relate to that feeling of being in a hospital and things. And yet, this is not, this is not just some love story or something. It's really about the person who's waiting, the person who's left behind waiting and not knowing what's going to happen next. I think it's a very relatable subject.
You worked with Nasir sir, and we've seen the trailers. You two are sharing a lovely chemistry around. So how was it? How was it working with him?
It was great this time around because last time I was working with him in Yellow Boots very briefly. I was very in awe of him and I wasn't prepared for him. But this time I think we just got on really well. It wasn't like a very intellectual getting along. Like we didn't like discuss theater and be all serious. We just bonded on similar things. Like I remember we both really loved Pyasa and we were talking so much about Pyasa together, and how like everybody else actually prefers that other Gurudat film, Kagaz Ke Phool, and we're like, no, Pyasa is much better, and we were having this argument together. So yeah, we just bonded on stuff, and I think I learned a lot from just watching him act. I think he's somebody who acts very truthfully and really looks for what the scene is about in terms of the character, not trying to entertain just for the sake of entertaining.
So Tara Deshpande, the character you're playing in this film, do you think it's somewhat similar to what you are actually in real life yourself? Like let's say, would you have?
I guess there are aspects of it, of Tara Deshpande in my real life. Like she is this fast-paced social media advertising kind of girl, which is similar to how I have to live my life. Constantly on the phone, constantly
so if put in the similar
on
situation,
Twitter.
you have with the same choice?
No. So the thing is, that's what I'm saying. In some ways we're similar, but in other ways, I think Tara is very different from me.
So disagreeing that you wouldn't make the same choice as Tara?
No, I think I would have made in terms of what she does in the film. Yeah.
Okay.
I would. It's a very difficult choice to make, to pull the plug or not to pull the plug on somebody who's in a coma. It's a very difficult choice to make for anyone. I really don't know in the real situation with a loved one, a family member, what I would do. I really don't know. It really depends on the person, what I think they might want. It depends on what are the chances of the person's survival, all those things. There are millions of questions, so there's no one right answer for this. And that's what the film is about, that there's no right answer.
So Kalki, while you've broken the stereotypical showcasing of women in cinema, you've kind of stereotyped yourself in being an offbeat star.
Really?
I mean, while there's an audience out there who loves watching Margarita or Waiting, there's a large chunk who wants to see you more like ZNMD or say Ye Jawani Hai Diwani,
which I've done, right? So that's against the stereotype.
This kind of cinema more. I mean, Margarita.
That's also because that's the work that comes my way. I would love to do more comic roles.
So you have no problems working in commercial?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
I love working in commercial cinema.
And all we have.
Those films come to me very few and far between.
So it is because that you're not being offered as much as you're like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I would love to balance out both types of cinema.
That's the question, that you've stereotyped yourself,
No, I don't think nobody wants to stereotype themselves. Other people stereotype you.
yellow boots, waiting.
Yeah.
Margaret
So you are stereotyping
Devdi.
me.
No, but
Yeah.
that's a different kind of a genre that you've picked
Yeah,
altogether.
but that's also how you stereotype me. People think, oh, now she will only do those films. So
Yeah.
then they send those kind of scripts.
Okay.
The fact is that I'm a versatile actor. If you
course
see
you
my
are.
theatre, you see
Yeah.
me playing a clown. You see me in comedy. You see me in a Hindi role or a Spanish role. You know.
Speaking of theatre, I mean, how connected are you with your theatre?
I still do theatre.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. And you like doing it, right?
Yeah.
And also we hear that you're going to be co-anchoring a travel show with your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
so-
traveling together through the northeast of India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's it about? What's it about?
It's for Fox Life, and it's about it's just about endurance, I guess. We're going to really test our endurances. Biking, you know, both of us have our own bikes, and we're biking through pretty rough terrains.
Okay.
And if we get a puncture, we have to fix it ourselves. Nobody can help us. So it's about how to go through. We'll be staying in tents, pitching our own tents in the rain, no matter come what may, what weather. You know, it's like about. It's an adventure trip, really.
Okay.
And also, obviously, the tensions between father and daughter,
Daughter,
and all of that.
Kalki, we see you at one point of time in the trailer that you telling Nasir sir that you have 5,000 followers on Twitter,
Yeah,
and you yourself are on Twitter in real life.
yeah.
Do you think in this?
And he's not, you know.
Yeah, he's not. I know.
In real life.
What I'm asking is that in this age of social media, do you think the celebs have kind of become a soft target? You know, anybody out there could link you up baselessly with someone. You know, all these rumors we keep hearing about all the time. So, what do you think about it?
I mean, I think it comes with the territory. We put our celebrities up
No, but do
on
you-
a pedestal and we bring them down. We do
Do you,
both.
blame do you blame the social media for having linked you up with so many?
No. I don't blame social media. I don't blame anyone. I think that there's a whole system in place, whether it's social media or tabloid newspaper journalism or just the way that we function in terms of reading shocking things before we read real news. So I think we just have a system that's in function, and there is other news to be told and talked about, like there are other stories to be told and talked about, and it's a question of what we choose to consume as
Does it
consumers.
bother you at any point?
I've learned to not let it bother me. I used to get really bothered, but I think over the years, with the amount of stuff that's come through and that's been sent my way, I've learned to kind of ignore it. Most of the time, I just don't read it. So what you don't know doesn't hurt you. I focus on on my work. So whenever I do find myself being dragged down by a heavy criticism on social media, I sort of switch off from my social media for a bit and just focus on my work. Of course, I don't have a problem with real criticism, like from people who know you and understand what your weaknesses are and can give you criticism, and that I'm very open to. But I think like nameless criticism from random people all over the world is a bit
So
too much.
what kind of movies are you doing now? I mean, we also heard that you were doing Konkana Scenes.
Yeah, so
full debut.
yeah.
Okay,
so
what's it?
that's called Death in the Ganj.
Okay.
And it's set in the 1970s, based on a true story.
Yeah.
It's a drama about basically this bunch of people who are stuck in a house for 1 week. The whole film happens in 1 week, and somebody dies, but we don't know. Obviously, I can't
When
tell
is it
you.
released?
We don't know yet. We
Okay.
just finished shooting
Okay.
it. So
So that's it. Thank you so much, Kalki.
thank you.
All the very best for waiting.
Thank you.
So that was Kalki Koechlin, who's awaiting a release waiting on
Kekla.
27th May.
Kekla, Kalki Kekla. Hi, this is Kalki. I'm coming out with my film Waiting on the 27th of May, and you can rate it on Desimartini, and you can download the app.